Good evening. Welcome to our Hastily Kayfabe podcast for October the 26th, 2016. I am joined by Will, Lou, and John. How are you gentlemen doing?
I'm alive.
Well, actually, something happened today. If you guys look at my Facebook page, you'll notice I now have a new card for basic life services. So I am certified for CPR and using a defibrillator, which means I am certified to save you guys from certain death, bring you back from the brink of death caused by the stupidity of the young bucks. Thank you very much.
well, with two of us CPR certified, we might be called to TNA soon, but we'll get to that.
Although I was going to say, actually, now it seems to be the stupidity of Dixie Carter.
Yeah, really. I guess we're gonna go right into that, huh?
Actually,
might as well.
No, let's get the other stuff out the way because there's the other stuff that's out the way.
The dead horse.
Okay.
She's the one beating the dead horse. Anyway.
So
anyway,
I guess from our card here, we probably should bring this up first. A new streaming player with WWE connections expected to announce the acquisition of independent pro wrestling content.
Yeah, Flow Slam. Whoop-dee-doo.
And yet they somehow got World Wrestling Network Live.
Yeah.
That's all sorts of cross connection there. Because I use WWN on my Roku whenever I want to watch Jim Cornette scream about Ring of Honor. But
That's actually interesting because I think that's where a couple of the shoots I brought came from there as well. One of the Jim Cornette ones and a couple of the worst or best ever ones.
Well, most of the stuff from Kayfabe Commentaries is through WWN.
Yeah.
So.
Fuck Sean Oliver.
And
that needs to be a hashtag. Fuck Sean Oliver.
Well, he's from Jersey, so you guys have a beef with him no matter what. So.
Mark.
Anyway, the other non-TNA piece of news: Turner Broadcasting, has acquired Lucha Underground, but it's not in the U.S. Can you clarify, John?
It's only in Germany.
It's Raiden! Lucha Underground!
So, I was about to say I guess Uncle Ted's back in the wrestling business, but I guess it's more Fuhrer Ted. Sorry.
No. Uncle Ted hasn't been involved in Turner since he retired, so.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be him anyway. So.
Well,
I note I can definitely see the irony in it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess now.
I guess you decide to let the hired help have a professional wrestling organization.
Well, I guess
just make sure you don't have a guy from Pizza Hut running the company. Anyway,
which unfortunately will be more qualified than Dixie Carter at the moment. Okay.
But go.
Guess we stalled long enough. Time for round 2 of how badly could TNA fuck up this week. And something we forgot to put in the notes: Anthem Sports, who's the parent company of the Fight Network, offered a bailout for Dixie Carter and TNA to pay off their debts with.
Hey, Clark, shove it up their ass.
Yes, Billy Corgan pretty much told them to go straight to hell. Billy Corgan has said that TNA Wrestling is insolvent, which, from what I've heard, essentially means that TNA's debts is now greater than the company's worth. And supposedly in the contract, that meant that if that happened, Corgan gets to take over as majority shareholder, pretty much replacing Dixie Carter altogether.
oh jeez.
Fun stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So now they owe more money than the company's even worth.
Da, da, da.
Billy Corgan... Say again?
You forgot to cue the Hagar music.
There
we go.
Anyway, so Billy Corgan now wants more control of the company, like I said, due to DVD falling on his loan, and wants to know where's the tape library. Corgan also is asking TNA to turn over all documents relating to the negotiations with WWE as of the beginning of this year, January 1st.
Okay.
That's the remix one, by the way, but yeah.
There's a remix one. Alright, the court...
I know my Hagar themes.
Alright, in the continuing the saga of TNA shooting themselves in the foot, the court has declared that TNA cannot sell anything until the lawsuit's settled. No tape library, no wrestlers, nothing.
Now,
Which is really disadvantageous. Go ahead.
now,
ahead,
Okay.
Lou. I'm just gonna keep this in the background.
Okay, there's some other notes in here that I found interesting, and it involves a guy.
Yeah, I'm going
is-
around it. We're going to connect those two together. Don't worry.
Okay.
So, continue. One more note on the Billy Corgan war. He's seeking compensatory damages and says that Dixie has lied about negotiations with WWE. Why am I not surprised?
Dixie lying? No.
really?
Really?
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm done.
I was trying to figure out what fucking Hagar music you're talking about, and I'm sitting here going, "That's not Final Fight. Oh, that's Saturday Night Slam Masters. Never mind."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wrestling. So we're not going off the subject, folks.
Okay. That's true. That is a wrestling game.
So before we get to the other person involved in the death, that would go involved in the death of TNA, what does anyone think about Billy Corgan's chances of, well, burying this company?
Well, go any further with that. I didn't see that anyone put this in the notes. I don't have the notes in front of me. But did you hear that with Corgan's lawsuit, they're not even allowed to go on with the next set of tapings.
They don't have the money to go.
They can't even do the Matt Hardy taping.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. I was about to say, they don't even have the money to do the next tapings. Fight Anthem paid to the end of the year, but that's it. But now...
Yeah, but they were supposed to do new tapings at the end of next month, but because of the litigation and everything that's going on, they're not allowed.
So,
Oh wow! So the company is literally frozen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because currently no one knows who's the majority owner, Dixie or Billy.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, they literally shut down. They were refunding people's tickets and shit like that, apparently.
How are they refunding people's tickets to places where they never actually sold any tickets?
It's just something.
Are they just giving people money for saying, "Sorry, you had to show up for this show. We're just going to give you money"?
Or free tickets to the Orlando theme park.
It's very clear this is going to be a very punchline heavy show with lots of
TNA's
game over music.
TNA's a joke as it is.
DNS is a punchline in and of itself.
TNA was a joke at the moment of its conception in terms of the name. Now it's a literal one in terms of its downfall.
Oh my.
So what's this bank filing a lawsuit too?
Bank.
Yep.
Yeah, Bank Direct Capital Finance LLC also filed a lawsuit against TNA. Who did they not owe money to? I'm sorry.
It's like watching a match with the German suplex count.
Jeez.
I'm starting to think TNA might owe us money because we're giving them more promotion than they should at this rate.
Well, I guess for them, bad news would be news, and good.
I guess
Therefore, good news, but-
TNA's going to owe Lewis $40 because he paid for Bound for Glory.
Oh,
Hey,
jeez.
yeah, I'm admitting that it was a good show.
Hey, we're never, like I said, we don't bash the wrestlers or TNA, just the horrible business practices.
That the freaking corporate of the company sucks.
Anyway,
Management.
which is sad. It's sad to think that when WCW lost about $90 million in a year, they still have better management than TNA.
And they still paid their taxes.
And the wrestlers.
And I hear the boys haven't been paid since No Surrender.
Yeah,
Yeah, some of them are actually
yeah.
throwing.
Where are all these fucking walkouts we're supposed to see?
Well, they said they're getting ready to in a few weeks if they because there's a the reason they
What?
the reason they delayed their walkout is because supposedly they heard, oh yeah, your checks are in the mail, and of course they never came. So he's like, well, fuck this.
It's like at what point do you stop believing shit? Like at what point do you say, you know something, the checks are never gonna come?
Well, some of them are already talking to WWE about getting a job over there. So yeah, I guess some of them stopped believing.
Well, they won't pay me. Can you please put me on NXT?
Well, it worked for Bobby Roode. I mean,
Bobby
shit, but they
Roode,
actually scouted him.
Bobby Roode, Eric
I
Young,
won't,
Samoa Joe.
I won't just kiss Vince's ass. I'll lick his asshole.
I'll give him a rim job. What the?
You know, at this point, compared to what they're going through now, that's probably the preferable solution.
Yeah,
I mean,
really. At least one of them, you have a paying job.
Speaking of Vince McMahon and people that like him,
Bruce Pritchard. According to sources, TNA stole.
Love you.
Yeah,
I know. How in the hell do you piss off Brother Love, the guy who has his own opinions about certain things? You know, the guy who, well, then again, he gets pissed off at Dave Meltzer all the time, but still, it's just like, how the hell do you piss this guy off?
by not paying him. That's how.
Apparently.
Hey, remember Gorilla Monsoon pissed him off. What's my
Yeah, but
recommendation?
would you fuck around with Gorilla Monsoon?
Would you fuck around with Gorilla Monsoon, though?
No.
It's like trying to walk up and slap Scott Steiner in the face and expect to have all your bones intact by the end of it. In his prime. Anyway, Bruce Pritchard says that TNA stole money from his paychecks, fucking him over with the IRS. Of course. Bruce Pritchard also discussed instances of late pay in TNA, no duh. Recall being told by accounting that the checks were mailed, however the wrestlers would say that they never received them. He also adds sometimes pay will be up to 6 weeks late. Wrestlers cannot afford to come to the next tapings. Eventually, TNA will quote overnight talent's checks, but when he arrived at taking, he saw guys holding FedEx envelopes. I guess overnight meant overnight to our offices, spending the night over at our offices.
My God.
Anyway, holding old checks proving they were never mailed. When he brought the issues up with Dixie, Pritchard said that she simply said, well, they got paid. Can we
Right there.
Daytona 500.
Best one so far, buddy.
Dixie. And the fight, and Anthem Sports want to put her in charge once all the lawsuits were settled. Oh, God.
No, but you know what the funny part is? I don't know if we covered this or not. I'm sorry if we did already. But you heard Corgan told them to shove their settlement up his ass, right?
Yeah, you said that.
Yep.
Yeah, they offered to freaking pay Corgan and everything that she owed, and Corgan told them to shove it up his ass, shove it up their ass.
Because he thinks they're playing ha-ha of his money, and he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, apparently he's been fucking bankrolling their tapings for about 6 months, I believe it said in the article.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's pretty much the reason TNA exists in 2016.
That's just
Yep.
insane.
So, we're starting to play a new game, says Coles. How much does TNA owe so far?
Mr. Silva, can you go into the details for us?
Oh shit! I gotta bring up the notes. I know they owe. I know right now they, without the lawsuits, they owe $3.4 million as it is.
Oh, that's nice.
Let's see. Let's go to the notes, shall we? Okay. Well, they owe audience of $223,000 plus interest and post-judgment costs. Billy Corgan, most of the lawsuit details are sealed money about how much he owes. Well, how much they owe him, I should say. Bischoff Hervey Entertainment, which means they're still getting sued by Eric Bischoff. They still owe Bischoff's company money for $114,500.02.
Jeez.
American Express Travel Services, they owe $269,040.50. And Bank Direct Capital Finance, they owe $207,612.29, giving them a grand total today of $814,152.81.
Jesus Christ.
Back to you, Pat.
If I had a sound mixer, I would put in the Price is Right fail theme about now.
Oh God!
Well,
Oh, wait. I'm sure I can come up with that.
I'm sure you can. Oh gosh!
God.
This is
everyone got silent and waited for it. High production values, folks.
it's low. That's my line, and it's low production values. Thank you. Pretty much.
Play again, John.
There we go.
One more time.
Oh, I was thinking, fucking iPad. There we go.
There.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Now, I mean, this is almost as ludicrous as something Mike Lano does. I mean, shit. Just, I don't think anybody knows who Mike Lano is, but
No,
he's a what?
He's a guy that does stuff that Will is talking about.
Oh yeah, pretty much. There's just oh gosh, just look up Mike Lano and wrestling and just some of the shit that happens. Anyway, this is just it's ridiculous.
This sounds like something Ian Rotten used to do to the boys in IWA Mid.
Oh God.
I almost wanted to ask a couple of weeks later what company's in a better state, but sad to say WCW's in a better state.
You know what's sad?
Was it a better state when they closed down?
This is exactly what the fucking wrestlers should have done to Paul Heyman when ECW was around. They should have taken him to court.
Yeah, but the thing is, Paul Heyman knew how to spin his wrestlers to actually work with him, even if they
still watching ECW.
People
ECW still making a profit.
It just wasn't enough to keep him on the air. Plus, they got fucked over by Spike TV. So
it's how many years? 16 years, and apparently Paul Heyman still owes people money.
I thought Vince paid off all Heyman's debts.
I think there's still some wrestlers complaining that Heyman still owes them money.
Was one of them named Virgil?
No, one of them is named New Jack.
I was about to ask, is Mr. Young one that...
Let's not beat a horse while it's down. New Jack's actually in the hospital right now with blood clot issues, so...
Shit, I didn't know.
Let's wish him well, and hopefully he gets out the hospital to post
stable. Hope he doesn't stab the nurse.
Oh, jeez.
Darkest joke.
So we just failed about beating a man while he's down, and then we have to mention something about a stabbing, and just great. Should we go on to the
Monday Night Raw?
to the recap? Well, we got to start with NXT from last week.
Oh right, NXT from last week.
Which was actually was all right. I mean, we had Rich Swann and No Way Jose, which the team I am calling Who's Eddie Gordo versus Tony Nese and Drew Gulak for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and that actually ended up being a very technical match. I was actually very impressed with the way it went. I, of course, remember none of it, but it actually ended up being a very good technical match without a whole lot of flying. Unsurprisingly enough, Jose was the biggest guy out of the four in the ring. So it ended up sort of being a mismatch, even when Tony Nese came in there, and Nese dropped a lot of weight to be a cruiserweight. So
Jose was the only regular heavyweight in the match.
He was the only cruisers. Yeah, and Rich was definitely the lightest. I mean, it was definitely good. We then get an update on Ty Dillinger, who has recovered from his beatdown from Sanity. Dillinger versus Rude will happen at TakeOver Toronto, so the Perfect 10 will get a chance to go after the Glorious One. At the upcoming TakeOver on the WWE Network in Toronto.
Can I say
Um,
Go
about
ahead.
that real quick?
Go ahead.
so sure.
When it comes to that, in all honesty, when it comes to that match with Dillinger and Rude, that will be the dark horse match of the show.
I think so too. It's
That's
going to be a
gonna
great
the
match.
dark horse match of the show.
It's going to be a great match.
Might be
I
the
think.
dark horse match of the whole weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, really.
Speaking of the glorious one, Bobby Roode had a match as well against Sean Maluda. Today was the jobber of the week for Bobby Roode, who ended it with. I swear he should be given a different move than just a DDT, because I think the Glorious Bomb would actually work as a finishing move name.
Now, how come I saw Sean Maluda? I thought for a second, Sean Matsuda? What, they finally bring some Street Fighter characters up in here?
Yeah, no. It's I think he's another Anoa'i guy. I keep forgetting. Rude starts another promo. Dillinger gets in. Kind of goes back and forth. Dillinger ends up throwing Rude out of the ring and immediately gets over, thus really setting up the feud for Dillinger and Rude. We then get the dark horse match of the evening. Tucker Knight and Otis Dozovic, who are basically the second coming of the natural disasters.
Oh, damn.
And that's not a knock on them, because holy crap, these heavy dudes could move.
So they're more natural disasters than the twin Delos we have Paul Ellering managing.
Exactly. I would rather have those guys than the authors of being the real deal now. Versus Austin Aries and some dude who debuted and turned out to be Roderick Strong, folks.
Mr. Backbreaker, Mr. ROH.
And Austin and Roderick have teamed up before many times, and of course they got over somehow. They actually did a very good job being a heel team, and yet still being the underdogs against two very big dudes. They took some huge punishment against Otis. I mean, you don't mess with a guy named Otis, and Otis is just a big stout. He's built like a strong man. I'm impressed by these two guys. I think those two guys could be a good tag team if you book them right.
I want to see more of them, definitely.
We then get a promo as to why Andrade Cien Almas went absolutely berserk on Cedric Alexander. Well,
No one cares.
Ish.
No one cares. Well, I'm just glad they're using Almas to help promote Alexander to new heights, because sometimes you can only go so far without a bitter rival to push you. So
that's true. But Almas needs some pushing too, and I think both of those guys will work well together.
Yeah, chances are if they do have a match in Toronto, I see Almas going over the first one. But
I agree. We then go on to Nikki Cross, who's what Nikki Strong in other places, I think, versus Danielle Camella. And of course, Nikki has decided that her inspiration is heroin, so she just went absolutely berserk on Danielle. She pulled a couple of Mankind's, pulling at her hair, biting herself. She wins, at which point Cross goes completely berserk afterwards, resulting in a reverse decision by the referee. So even though Cross won the match with the pinfall, Camella got the win because the referee said disqualified Cross for bad behavior after the match was over.
So they're giving her the Cactus Jack type push.
Yeah, they're giving her well, they have to give all four of them the Cactus Jack type push in this case, and then they're all the other three members are just smiling and giving a chance to hold her back and grab her by the waist while she runs in the air doing laps and pulls at her hair.
Used to do a Cactus.
Yeah. Then we get an announcement for the Dusty Rhodes Classic. We get 2 tag team matches for next week, both of which I completely forget.
We'll find out later on.
But one of them I do remember was the Kota Ibushi TJ Perkins match, so that'll be interesting. And at the very end, we get the return of Shinsuke Nakamura without his without anything, comes out with the belt. I'm actually surprised they let him speak in English. His English is actually fairly good for what he does. I think he speaks better than Asuka, personally.
Well, he's been speaking English for a while. It just keeps his promos sweet and short.
Yeah, but it's still in English, so he can relate to the audience. That's really good. I'm glad he's able to get that across. At which point his promo gets interrupted by Patrick Clark's Prince impersonation.
Now, when I saw Patrick Clark in Tough Enough, I said, okay, this guy. First of all, I was pissed the way he was eliminated, and yet they kept ZZ Lupe all the way to the finals. But he's the type of guy who saw, okay, he's going to eventually come back and make it. So when I saw that he got picked up as in the developmental leagues, I'm like, okay, cool. Him and Mata, who also I assume who also believe got picked up in the developmental leagues, is now in there. They finally get to live their dream, and then I see this, and suddenly I get bad flashbacks of Orlando Jordan in TNA. Hopefully, it's not the case.
No, I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I mean, Clark, I don't know why he was given the Prince gimmick, let alone the fact that he had a Susan G. Komen pink ribbon painted on his cheek. But basically, all it really was a distraction for Samoa Joe to come out. Joe was not able to get his hands on Nakamura. But for his trouble, Clark gets basically a boot to the face.
Kinshasa.
I'm hoping I'm spelling it right. I don't know if it's
don't feel bad. I don't think I can spell that right either.
With that said, that pretty much ended NXT. Yeah, it was all right, but I think now we're kind of in the valley before it starts to build up towards TakeOver near the Survivor Series, because it's another 4 to 5 weeks before TakeOver in Toronto. So that'll be good.
Okay, which brings us to Monday Night Raw. And
on Monday that no one watches.
Yeah.
Goddamn jack shit happens. I mean, yeah, you get your pre-matches like the Cesaro Sheamus going over New Day in a non-title match, but the only notable thing I could think of, and correct me if there's anything else, was there was a promo with Lesnar and Heyman, and they're trying to build up Lesnar as a villainous heel, except one problem. Raw took place in Minnesota, where Lesnar's essentially the second coming. So they're doing a Suplex City chant as badly as Paul Heyman is trying to get them to start a Goldberg chant.
Well, they got a Goldberg chant going, but it wasn't the one that Papa Vince wanted.
Goldberg sucks. So yeah, anything.
I mean, it's like going to a rivalry game at Yankee Stadium and asking the stadium to cheer for the Red Sox.
Yeah, really. Or for the most part, asking any New Yorker to cheer for a Boston team.
Yeah.
Well, there was one other thing of note that I thought was pretty interesting.
What's that?
It was nice to see Curtis Axel finally get some mic time.
Oh, jeez.
What did he say other than, please God, send me to SmackDown?
Yeah, really. Basically, no, he got on the mic and he said, we're here in Minnesota. I don't need to tell you guys who my father is. I don't need to tell you guys who my grandfather is. And then they had Bo Dallas roll him up and hold the tights and pin him. Isn't
well, shit.
Good way to honor the Henning legacy.
And then to top it all off, I had a buddy, my friend Sam, was at the show, and he said they were actually confiscating freaking Curtis Axel signs. So God forbid you cheer for somebody who you want to fucking cheer for.
So they got mad because one hometown hero was getting cheered and they took away the signs. They got mad because another hometown hero was getting cheered and they put on his music prematurely, the Lesnar one. Do they not understand that people will cheer for their hometown heroes?
People are morons. I mean, it's just one of those.
It's like, what thinking?
All right.
And there was something else that happened on Raw.
What's that?
That apparently Chris Jericho went on a Scooby-Doo chase for his list.
And was found by the most interesting people. Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
No one cares. So here we go.
On to actual
Yeah.
on to the show we actually watch because it's actually entertaining, strangely enough. SmackDown. Because for some odd reason, while Raw decided to spin the reels, SmackDown did something interesting. Actually have qualifier matches for the upcoming Survivor Series matches. Go ahead.
Pushing the feud between the world champion and his would-be number one contender.
Yeah, really? I don't know. Maybe because SmackDown's a shorter show, so they can't bullshit as much.
Well, to be fair, they also have 5 weeks. They don't have pay-per-view in the way to the Survivor Series. Raw does.
Yeah, but they also
It's
have to
just that Raw also isn't doing a great job for that either. But
yeah, but they also have the London event, so they have a semi pay-per-view, but still, they're not even pushing. Well, let's go to the notes. Now, I didn't put this earlier because I thought it was just a bullshit match until the ending, but there was a match between Bray Wyatt and King. Bray Wyatt wins after Orton hits King the RKO. When confronted about it, Orton says something along the lines of, "If you cannot beat them, join them." God,
Hashtag Landy Borton.
God, I hope this doesn't mean he's joining the Wyatt family.
Well, only if he can infiltrate to set up the feud a little more, but I don't know.
Yeah, but
I think honestly, what they really need is they need Eric Rowan to show up, and then really have the family back. But hey, what the hell do I know?
Yeah, because Rowan's injured.
Either that or Orton's character says, "Hi, I fucked your sister," and then they all try to figure out where Sister Abigail is, but they won't do that. So,
because I think the goal was to reunite all 3 members, but then Rowan got injured just before Harper came back.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so our first qualifying match of SmackDown, the Hype Brothers defeat the Ascension to qualify for Team SmackDown. We also learn later that Slayer and Rhino qualified by default by being the tag team champions, and I assume are the co-captains of said team.
Well, the tag team.
Yeah, I said the co-captains of the tag team Team SmackDown. Yeah. We also get another qualifying match as Nikki Bella defeats Natalya to become Team SmackDown Women's team captain, and also disqualifying Natalya from joining the team, as that was the stipulation.
So they disqualified somebody who can actually wrestle and wrestle well for Mrs. John Cena.
The power of a velvet throat.
And by the way, Mrs. John Cena has officially taken Eric Watt's place as the person who does the worst STF I've ever seen.
Yep, because
wow.
of shit.
That shit